Remember, of course, no LeBron, no Rui, no Jackson Hayes for Los Angeles. Giannis finished with 24, 12, and 9 in this win. Brook Lopez, woohoo, 23 points for him. Kevin Porter Jr. with 22 in 16 minutes. And Luka, here's the thing. Luka had 45, 11, and 3. That's a big point total. Didn't matter, though. Giannis, Dame, and Brook Lopez just kind of showing who they can be when they are at their best. And so I'm wondering, Lou, we've sort of looked at the Eastern Conference now for a while as Cleveland, Boston, and then there's a bit of a drop off. Are you seeing a little bit out of Milwaukee now to start considering them again as perhaps a threat in the East?
They've always been a threat. Always been a threat. You know, ever since they kind of figured out what they were going to do right before the trade deadline and leading up to it, they were trying to figure out what was their identity, what style of team they were. They found it, and Giannis is playing great. He's playing a lot of bully ball, putting a lot of pressure on people at the rim. I got killed online from the faithful because I said that he needed to add something to his bag, you know, and I see him shooting those mid-range jumpers. What I was meaning by that is we want to see it consistently, not just on one or two occasions a game. We want to see that consistently, and he's gonna need it. You know, as this thing grows, he's gonna need it. But shout out to him from shooting 47 from the field, from the mid range, as we see right here on these highlights. You know, this is gonna be one of those teams that's gonna be a tough out, especially when you have Giannis playing at this level, when you have Dame playing at that level, and getting the production you're getting out of Brook Lopez. They're going to be a tough out for anybody. So they're definitely legit contenders coming out of the East. But, you know, the top two teams, they've created that separation from everybody else. So it's Boston, Cleveland, then everybody else, Milwaukee included. But they're definitely going to be a tough out for anybody that step up to that challenge.
Yeah, and Milwaukee, again, the in-season tournament, say what you want about it, they were great during that. And elimination games and big moments, they obviously have killers on their team with Giannis and Dame. They add a guy like Kyle Kuzma who can provide a little bit of everything, who can he knows how to play off these star players. They're deep, and now they're defending. And again, you got to credit to Doc Rivers. The way they were playing earlier this season, this is a completely different team. So they put themselves in a situation. We know how good the Celtics are. We know how good the Cavs are. I like the Bucks more than the Knicks, honestly. Like I think they're deeper. I think they're better offensively. I think their starting five isn't as talented, but I like them a lot.
Okay, a long way we've come since the beginning of the season. Let's talk a little Luka here, because obviously that is always going to be the story from here on out. The 45 points is nice. It seemed like he and Austin Reeves were aware of how offense needs to go down, but I'm wondering, clearly not enough, even with the 45. We're not 100% sure when LeBron's coming back, Chandler. Can he keep them above water? Because so far in 3 games has not looked that way.
Yeah, and we see the schedule that's coming up for them. It's not getting any easier. I think this just shows the importance of LeBron James. But Austin Reeves was still aggressive last night. He was 10 of 7. Guys, 10 of 17. Luka Doncic taking 27 shots. I think this could be a blessing in disguise with him getting his feet back, having games like this where he's explosive and dominating offensively. But it's tough to judge this team right now. They're so banged up. When you got no Rui, no Kleber, no LeBron, no Jackson Hayes. I mean, this team isn't even close to being whole, but they still have enough to win games. So, again, this is kind of a dangerous time for them because they need home court advantage. That is a huge, huge goal for them. And right now, them and Houston are tied for that. And the way Golden State's playing, they're only 2.5, 3 games behind the Lakers. So there's a lot of basketball left. But, yeah, I think LeBron James is going to have a little bit more sense of urgency to kind of get back in the lineup because clearly this team is struggling without him.
They play Denver tonight, by the way. That's a bit of a tough back-to-back, no matter what part of the schedule. It's not getting easier at all. Look, we talked about it, Lou, the other day, and it was, LeBron getting hurt. Maybe there's a bit of a blessing in disguise. He can get a little rest in there that he wouldn't otherwise get. But here's the counter to that, right? Okay, so that's fine. But is there a chance that Luka gets a little bit burned out in this meantime while we're waiting on LeBron?
No, not right now. No such thing as a burnout. Like this is the time that the stars are gonna be stars. We just talked about it with Giannis. Just talked about it with Dame. And Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green. Like these guys are household names for a reason. That is your responsibility to keep the lights on when other star guys go out. So right now we can't be worried about minutes. We can't be worried about any of those things. I'm sure JJ Redick is going to do the best that he can to make sure that Luka is prepared for the games that they got coming up in his schedule, especially having 6 games in 9 days. They're going to have to do something. But right now, the phone, listen, it's happening. The phone is ringing, and somebody got to answer that call, and it's going to be Luka Doncic. It has to be him and nobody else. I've said it before that this roster is paper thin. They can't afford for guys to go out of this lineup and continue on playing as well as they've been playing. Now that they have injury, we're starting to see what I was meaning by that. They're on a slide right now, and it's only one person that can get them out of that slide until LeBron gets back in the lineup, and that's going to be Luka. So they got to go out guns blazing. Like he just had a 45 last night. It's going to be a quick turnaround, an even tougher night tonight playing against the Denver Nuggets, and he's got to be prepared to go. Simple and plain.
Tough stretch. All right, we got to take a quick break. All right, he's here, 3-time All-Star. He's a champ. Antoine Walker on the show. Antoine, thank you, first of all. And we are going to get to NBA, but we are obviously in the middle of some college basketball. Conference tournaments, championships are going down right now. This is, I'm about to say, 30 years ago. God, we are in the same boat. You were a freshman at Kentucky. Led a 19-point comeback over Arkansas, and then the following year you win it all. What are some of the memories that stand out around this time of year for you?
I mean, obviously it was great times for me. I love it. My first year I went to the Final Eight, and then next year winning the championship. But so I love this time of year. And the SEC tournament actually made me. When I look at my career, especially my freshman year, because I was able to kind of like hit the scene. Everybody knew I was coming in high school, but I didn't have a great freshman year. But once that SEC tournament came and was able to get MVP of the SEC tournament, kind of jump-started my career.
Unlocked something. You have a standout memory for Rick Pitino? Anything that you can tell us?
Yeah, for me, it was actually he stopped me from being back-to-back MVPs. I mean, you guys don't probably remember this. My sophomore year, I was on the verge of being back-to-back, and he benched me in the championship game. And, Wow. So that was one of the things. He kind of tossed me. I talked back to him in the timeout.
Oops. That must have been a bad talking back.
Yeah.
Different time now. Say what you want to a coach now.
Right?
So it was different. That cost me. That's a true story, too. He benched me that game. We ended up losing to Mississippi State. But we ended up winning the national championship after that, so it was okay.
Ooh, that could have gone bad.
I played for Billy D, who was a product of Rick Pitino, so I know kind of what you went through. And now he's got St. John's rolling this year, top 10 team in the country. They're probably going to make some noise in the tournament. Where do you rank Pitino as just like in the coach in general? And obviously you mentioned him benching you in the game. What impact did he have on your career?
Honestly, man, it's amazing what he's doing right now. But for me personally, I owe him everything. I mean, he taught me how to play the game the right way, taught me how to work hard. In Boston, he was great for me my first couple years. I made an all-star team in my second year with him. Obviously, he didn't have as much success at the pro level, but in college, he taught me, I was a kid, he taught me how to be a man. He taught me the work ethic that was needed to be a great pro. And even still to this day, he's still very much a part of my life. And I had the opportunity a couple weeks ago to see them play DePaul here, and just the game has changed. To see how he's able to take a bunch of transfers and make them complete this fast just speaks to how great of a coach he is.
How many national championships do you think he would have won if he stayed at Kentucky?
Definitely one more. It's so hard to win that shot. Definitely one more. If I would have stayed, and not left my sophomore year, we definitely probably won the final. And that's not being biased. I think we would have won it that year. But guys start coming out early. I mean, I played with 9 pros, bro. So you got to think. Hey, guys could have stayed. You could have added a piece. I mean, we had a system going there where guys were coming in. So, but coach was really big on guys fulfilling their dreams and having opportunities to go to the next level. But if he wanted to be one of those coaches that kept guys in school, I mean, they could have ran him off.
Man, that's incredible. Twan, I want to switch gears over to the NBA. You're a Boston Celtics legend, and you look at this current